Hey, what's up? Back again.
That first bass note hit me in the chest, and I was just like, there's no way that's 2/8.
MB Enclosures has his own YouTube channel, and this guy is an animal when it comes to designing boxes.
Hey, welcome to the channel, boys. Your boy MB here with another part 3 of the J Audio unboxing. Now, I told you we're gonna start right here. We're gonna talk about this surround, because a lot of you looking at it and say, man, how the heck did they get the subwoofer in the hole? How are they keeping it there when you can't even see the screws? Because the woofer is mounted. As you see, it is mounted to the baffle. Now, how do they do that? And why do they do it like that? A variety of reasons. Number one, subwoofer sound is directly related to the amount of air that is moving in its X-Max. The amount of air that is moving in its X-Max. The X-Max is going to be dictated by two things: the surround and the spider. And also the basket. The basket. You must have a certain height. You must have a certain height from the spider landing to the top plate. And whatever that height is from the spider landing to the top plate is going to be your X-Max. Because if you say you have, let's say, 25 millimeters X-Max, and from your spider landing to your top plate is only 20 millimeters, anybody reasonable would conclude, well, how are you able to do that? Because once you're going to get to 20 before you get to 25, so that means that the spider's going to hit the top plate before you get to 25 millimeters. The spider landing for your top plate must be greater than what your X-Max is. Remember that. So, but a subwoofer's ability to get loud in its output level is going to be dictated by two things. Two things. Well, that's going to be two things. There's some other factors too, but those two are paramount. I would say they're very, very important, because the speaker must move to generate sound. Okay. The surround. The amount of air displaced by the cone and its X-Max. Now here's the thing. The cone area of a subwoofer is going to be affected by what you do with the surround. Some manufacturers like to use big, tall, fat roll surrounds. I call them toilet seats. But when they make those kind of surrounds, they go inside and eat up some of the cone area. You still get to use the apex on one end of the surround to the other as your SD. However, this is going to stay constant, whereas the half inch that you use on your surround, as the woofer moves toward its apex, you're not going to have that. You're going to be solely really reliable on the hard surface. This is what's going to give you that punch that you're looking for, or the lows that you're looking for. This area here. So, with that being said, the hard surface, you want as large as you possibly can. With that being said, most manufacturers, when they put these large roll surrounds on, they encroach upon the cone area. This is one end of the surround, the outside edge, and this is it. And then the inside edge is somewhere here. They come this way, further inside, eating up your hard surface area. James and Lucio decided, well, how do we keep the same piston area without decreasing that, and able to keep up with this 19 millimeters of X-Max that this motor can do with this frame? They decided to go over the mounting holes. Yes, and it works. They decided, instead of increasing on the cone area, we're going to keep that constant. In fact, the cone area, the SD of the J Audio 8W7 is 38 square inches. This is in 2002. This woofer had 38 square inches of cone area. It still does today, 22 years later. It also has 19 millimeter X-Max. When y'all were waving about X-Max and subwoofers and how some 8s had 16 millimeters, then they went to 19. The JR8W7 had 19 millimeters X-Max in 2002. Fact, not fiction. In 2002, this subwoofer right here had 19 millimeters X-Max in 2002. It also had 38 square inches of cone area in 2002. Fact, not fiction. Now, also, well, before I touch on that, let me touch on this. A subwoofer surround and the spider, but particularly the surround and the SD, is going to give each subwoofer their own unique sound. Some manufacturers, by making making the surround so big that it encroaches upon the cone area, actually make the subwoofer one-dimensional. Why you say that? Because with the surround being so large, yes, it's going to excel on the lows because it has that large X-Max. But it's not going to sound so good on the highs because you don't have no hard surface area. MB been telling y'all cone area is king. You got the toilet seats. Yeah, you're moving, but how much air are you moving? How much air are you displacing? When you make the surround that large and you come in on the cone. It looks good to watch it move, but how much air are you really displacing? Is your sub one-dimensional? JL didn't want their sub to be one-dimensional. They were going to keep the same SD. In fact, they had the greatest SD of any 8 of its time for a long, long time. Other than one other company that came about in 1986. And y'all know who that company is, but that's not this video. They had the largest cone area for a long time. 2 other companies, my bad. 2 other companies. Part of the big 4. For a long time. So they decided, hey, it's another factor we're gonna tackle as well. Glad I remember that. When you have a woofer with it, like I said, an 8-inch cutout, and you have the surround that comes here, and some of these, I call them doo-doo Alibaba subs, they don't even have the surround put in the right spot. So it could what will happen, like on this sub here, for instance, as you look right here, you can see the surround is coming close to the mounting hole. So when you put in a mounting hole in, you could indirectly create a leak with the screw, so that now when the woofer plays, you got a little pinhole leak here and the air is coming out. It's raising your QTC because you got leakage in the box. I ain't think about that, MB. Yeah, so James and Lucino did. So they said, well, we put the screws under the surround. When we come over the top with how we're going to machine this ring and the ring on top of this round, we now create an airtight seal, keeping our QTC at 0.7 or maybe even lower. Linkages inside the box. Oh, ingenious. Yes, that is very ingenious. This was in 2002. Let me show you how easy it is to get this off. This is brushed aluminum. Now, people say, some might say, oh man, I'm gonna go through all that trouble. Well, that's why you don't get you a suit and tie sub. You get you the readily available cookie cutters. Those of us that know this is premium. So you take this, lift it up, boom, real simple. Now the ring is off. Then take this around with your 2 thumbs here and just lift it up. Bye-bye. And then you will see the mounting holes, the screws, underneath the surround. MB, that is genius. I didn't come up with this. This is their idea, is genius. Now the materials used in this surround is proprietary as well. That's why it has a great texture. It doesn't, another feature of J Audio, it doesn't look like everybody else surround. Black, it's their own mixture. It's their own mixture. They had it tailored specifically for this woofer, because next that they do is the fold and clone attach, and we're going to get to that next. But I want to show y'all how to put this back together. Just fold this back down, pick up your machine ring, put it down like that, take your finger, real simple. I mean, it's exact. It's machine exact. I really intrigued y'all to watch the videos that I'm making the J8W7 and all the whole W series line. Then you put the ring on, and this pop, you'll see it pop right back in place. There we go. Man, yeah, that's it. That's it. Back to where we was in the beginning. So let's go over that again. The SD of the driver on the JL8W7 is 38 square inches. They was able to keep that 38 square inches and utilize that 19mm X-Max with their baskets, which we're going to get to, and their motor by utilizing this Overoll surround, which puts the mounting holes underneath the surround. So I still got my great excursion, my 19mm excursion, and I still have my greatest SD. 38 square inches of cone area since 2002. 19 millimeters of X-Max since 2002. AB, I did not know these things. I know you didn't. That's why you come to the channel, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how we get to where we at, so you can understand how you spend your money when you're buying a suit and tie subwoofer, which is chocolate, or when you're buying duty. You can explain why your woofer is this. Now, this technology that JL do is on their 8. It's similar to the. No, you know what? Not even gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna sit there and just keep this strictly on JL Audio on this 8W7 to teach y'all more about these 8s. The next thing we're gonna talk about is we talked about the surround. Next thing we're gonna talk about is the cone. I told you about the SD, but there's a unique feature also about the cone. Its material, its composition, and how it attaches to the former. Stay tuned. Part 4.